Well, hey friends, welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. This is your show. This is where we take a look at ourselves and the world around us. Well, the world around us, I'm in Ohio right now at Annunciation Radio's Share-a-thon right now. We're at the final day, the final hours of the Share-a-thon, so please pray for us that we reach the overall goal. And calls are coming in, so that's a good sign. And we're really blessed. We're blessed to have Catholic radio. And I'm Debbie Georgiani along with Jerry Usher, and we're grateful, we're blessed to have you. Dear listeners of Take Two. Being in Ohio has been really a beautiful experience, very humbling because a lot of people have said that they love Take Two with Jerry and Debbie, and it's really wonderful. It's wonderful when people feel like they are connected to us and are a family and are growing in their faith, and it's a wonderful thing. We're blessed, we're privileged, and we're blessed, and you know, God is great, and we can only just thank Him and glorify Him by how we grow closer to Him every single day. So that's what Take Two is all about. And today we titled the show Sleep with the Angels. And the reason why we titled that is because that's typically a phrase that we use, Jerry and I and my husband Marty and others that we know when we're trying to go off to sleep in a deep sleep and to be feeling like very, very rested. And so we're ready to start the next day. We always say, sleep with the angels. And so we're talking about that today because sleep is important and it does impact our spirituality. And so I just heard myself twice. So I think Jerry Usher's with us. Oh, Jerry, are you there? Okay, not yet. All right. So we have a little technical glitch. That's okay. That's why it's Take Two, because it takes two of us to do this show. And that's good. It's a good thing because God sent us out 2 by 2 to go out and really just be in the world and to spread the message, to spread the good news. So today is talking about sleep today. We're on Take Two. And we want to hear from you because we know that adults, healthy adults need 6 to 8 hours of sleep. We know that good regenerative sleep is between 10 and 2. We've heard all these stories and these reports that have come out that said that that's when you need to sleep. We know that there's a lot of us that are up at 2 and 3 and 4 a.m. and a lot of us grab our rosaries and pray the Divine Mercy, and we really feel that it's a great time for us to be in prayer. And the saints did as well. I mean, and that's the thing. So we're talking about sleep today and how it relates to our spiritual life. So here's the number to dial if you want to get in on this conversation. We're talking about how sleep impacts our spiritual life. And we want to hear from you because I have very strong thoughts about this. Just to let you know, we're getting, just so you know, Jerry Usher is here. I have spoken to him. Well, he's not here with me in Ohio, but he is with us on Take Two, but we're just trying to make sure we can get him hooked up on the internet. So let's hope that happens. Let's all pray. So, because we want Jerry Usher to weigh in on this. This was a topic that we came up with together. So we want Jerry in on this show. And here's the thing. I have strong issues on this because I truly believe that when we are sleep deprived, and those of you that are new parents out there, you've heard about how you can become sleep deprived. That means you function with very little sleep so you can take care of your family. Does God allow you to exist because of that? Well, absolutely. You're raising your family. But here's the thing, that sleep deprivation can really have a profound effect on your health and also your spiritual life. So we want to hear from you. The number to dial is 1-800-585-9396. 1-800-585-9396. You can also text us. You text the letters EWTN to 55000. You wait for a response, and then you go ahead and text your comment or question, and we'll pop it in at the appropriate time during the discussion. But we're talking about sleep today. How does it impact our spiritual life? How does it shape us? If we get proper sleep, does it make us better Christians? I mean, there's all sorts of things. If we're sleep deprived, is that when maybe Satan picks the time to possibly really just rise his head and say, you're tired and you're going to fall prey to sin, and I'm going to tempt you, and it's going to be easy because you're so tired. I know in my life that's what's happened. When I'm tired, I'm not the best person in the world. I need my sleep. So there you go. 1-800-585-9396. Sorry, I've got the pledge drive voice on. That's just because we're in the final hours of the pledge drive at Annunciation Radio. Like I said, I'm actually at the Hampton Inn right now in the lobby. So if you hear people around me, that's because there's people in the lobby. And the folks at the Hampton Inn and Mommy have been great. Mommy, that's how you say the town. It's beautiful. Ken Brandt, the general manager, has been wonderful. He has got me all connected on the internet so I can be on with you guys because Take Two is near and dear to me. And by the way, I've been saying the rosary for the Take Two family because I felt very strongly that there's a lot of prayers that have come onto the prayer wall on the Jerry and Debbie site. And I just wanted you to know that I'm actively praying for your intentions. So if you want to get to that site, you can go to take2show.com and look for that bright yellow button, the JD button. Hit that button. You can go to the prayer wall and leave your prayer intentions. We're praying round the clock. Okay, calls are coming in. That's a good thing. And we've got room for you. I'm looking at it right now. We've got two open phone lines. We're still working on getting Jerry Usher all connected, so that's a good thing. 1-800-585-9396. We're talking about sleep today and how that impacts our spiritual life. Remember, balance is key. Making sure we take care of ourselves. We take care of ourselves in our bodies, in our minds, in our hearts, in our souls, and it's important. And Catholic radio is a great part of taking care of our souls, actually, and our minds and our spiritual life, because it helps to form us, it helps to shape us and grow us closer to God. But sleep is an important thing, just like eating healthy food is an important thing, and really spending leisure time is an important thing, and all sorts of things like that. So we're going to talk about that today, but we're going to hit the pause button for just a moment, make sure we can get Jerry Usher on, and when we come back, we're going to go right to the phone. So please call in, weigh in on this. Don't leave me alone on this. Sleep is important. Don't be sleeping on this. Come on. You can take a nap later. 1-800-585-9396. We'll be right back.
"60 on 10 with Monsignor Charles Pope."
The first commandment, I am the Lord your God. You shall have no strange gods before me. In this commandment, God seeks to protect us from false claimants to our worship and obedience. And there's a great sad history of people who have trusted in gods other than Him or things other than Him, and the ruin that it has caused. So God is trying to protect us and call us to an absolute trust and obedience of Him. He asks us to trust Him above all things and above all other people or so-called gods. We have to also avoid things like consulting horoscopes, palm reading, clairvoyance, recourse to mediums, any desire to try to control things apart from God. God simply says, trust me, I'm the Lord your God. I am the first commandment. I am the Lord your God. You shall have no strange gods before me.
EWTN. Live truth. Live Catholic.
Being part of the EWTN Media Missionaries is a perfect way to help us fulfill our calling from Christ to make disciplines of all nations by use of the media. Visit EWTNmissionaries.com today and join us in sharing the eternal word with the world.
Post your intentions on the prayer wall on Jerry and Debbie's website. To get there, just click on the bright yellow J&D logo at take2show.com. Jerry and Debbie personally reply to every prayer intention that's posted. Others will also offer you their prayer support. When there's something important you want prayers for, post it on the prayer wall on Jerry and Debbie's site. Visit take2show.com, click on the J&D logo today.
What is the evidence for the existence of God? How can faith and science coexist? How can something come from nothing? Cosmic questions that still elude the mind of man. Philosopher and theologian Father Robert Spitzer ignites an infinite discourse, a transcendent Q&A of sound reason, credible science, and faithful theology. At the intersection of faith and reason, we invite you to explore Father Spitzer's universe.
Sunday, noon Eastern on EWTN Radio.
We're so glad you're with us on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. And I'm really believing now that the dark side is showing his ugly face right now, believe it or not, because Jerry's having technical difficulty. And I just had my computer screens go down. So I think it's because he doesn't want us to talk about this topic. I really believe that because sleep is important. And he knows that's a way to kind of creep into our our spiritual life, into how we interact socially, and he can get in there, because when we're tired, we're going to interact with people a little differently. And so this is interesting. But I prayed to St. Michael, and Jerry is on the phone. So guess what? God is on the throne, and ultimately God wins. So here we go. Jerry, I can hear you.
Yeah, sorry, I overslept. I apologize for that.
Okay, that was hilarious. No, can you believe that, Jerry? Don't you kind of think that he had to the dark one just kind of just said, I'm here. I don't want you talking about sleep, because the last thing I want is people to get good rest, because then they can make good decisions and not be tempted as much. I mean, it's kind of interesting how that always seems to happen, don't you think, Jerry?
Oh, yeah, occasionally. Don't want to give Sparky too much credit, but he does try and get his tail in the machinery, as St. Maximilian Kolbe used to like to say.
That's true. That's very true. Good. Well said, Jerry. Well said. Well, we're glad you're with us. We were praying. I was praying to St. Michael. So there you go. And so, dear listeners, if you want to join in, this is a wonderful show today. We're talking about how sleep is important. We know that it helps our bodies, it helps our minds, it helps our souls. And sometimes a lot of us aren't getting really deep sleep, and that's not such a good thing, because our bodies don't have time to kind of regenerate and heal, and it can leave us open to where we can be. We can be weak because we're tired. I mean, it's just a fact. If you're tired, you have less patience. You're not really making some great decisions, and we want to hear from you. So we've got full phone lines right now, but when a line opens up, jump in and add to the conversation, because what you have to say is important. 1-800-585-9396. And Jerry, we're not connected by Skype, so I'm not sure what you're seeing and what you're not seeing. So I just want to make sure. Can you see everything I'm seeing, all the phone lines, or what?
Not quite yet, so you fire away. You take the lead here.
Okay.
I'm much better following your lead anyway.
Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Okay, Teresa, you are first up listening to EWTN Radio in Sebastian, Florida. Hi, Teresa. Welcome to Take Two. You're listening on Divine Mercy Radio. Are you guys okay? Because I heard Sebastian got hit pretty hard by Hurricane Matthew. How you doing, Teresa?
Oh, I'm doing just fine, and yes, everybody's recovered. We really, truly were kissed by the blessings of God in that storm. I'm a part-time over here and a part-time on the west coast of Florida, so I go back and forth between both coasts. And no, they did okay. There's still piles of dead leaves and tree limbs, but all things being equal, it was an absolutely truly blessing from God that everyone was spared. So no problem for that.
Oh,
Thank God
praise
for that, yeah.
Yeah, we were all praying, Teresa. We were all praying for you guys. Yeah. So what's your take? What's your take on this? You heard the introduction about sleep. What's your take on it?
Yes. Well, my husband and I are empty nesters right now, but that doesn't mean that your kids aren't always on your mind. It doesn't mean that your parents aren't on your mind, your work's not on your mind, etc. And I think the thing with sleep, as I realize myself, is it is hard in today's world to really calm the brain, calm the mind, and it takes real concentration, I think, for myself, because I don't get a very good night's sleep, a deep sleep. So what I had learned to do a long time ago was, as I lay down, and of course, any computers, any screens you're watching before you start to go to sleep, forget it. It's got your brain already lit up. That's hard. You really have to come away from that. I've tried to meditate to relax my whole body in a deep breathing kind of just from the toes up and just recite the name of Jesus or anything, Jesus, or, here I am, Lord, I come to you, help me to relax, help me to sleep, because I know that it's important, although I don't get a whole lot of it. But in the mix of all of that, sleep is always interrupted, or this attempt to fall asleep is constantly interrupted by the mind wanting to, infiltrate that process and keep you awake, and just, it really takes a lot of work to go to sleep. I mean, I hate to say it that way, but it kind of does for me, because I'm forever thinking about so many things and busy throughout the day. And when especially sorrowful things happen, such as my youngest sister just passed away on September 26th at 49 years old. We lost my nephew, her son, 4 years ago at 24. All the issues that the kids have, the work, everything, it makes it difficult. And I truly believe that it takes a very conscientious effort to allow God to come in, because truly, when you find that space and when you take the time, Jesus will come in and relax you and bring you the peace that only He can give. But it takes a lot of effort, unfortunately, but it's worth the practice. I do believe that. And stress from lack of sleep will cause, as you said, a host of medical issues from just everything. I mean, it really does wreak havoc on our body. So I have the issue of not being able to fall asleep very easily, stay asleep, but wake up several times during the night. But there's also that I'm going to hold on to God's hand, and I'm going to ask Him to help me get some kind of rest. I have to travel back and forth across the state a lot, and oftentimes I have to lay down for about 20 minutes before I get in the car and drive 3 hours so that my brain can actually relax and refresh itself. After that, I get up and I get in my car and I make my drive.
Right.
That's my comment. Thank you very much.
Teresa, you can hang up and listen, but I want you to listen for a second, because you said a couple things, and I know Jerry wants to comment. So Jerry, you can go first, but I have a couple things for Teresa that might help. But go ahead, Jerry.
I just love her method here, bringing, of course, Jesus into it and trusting Him, and just trying to get rid of the things that keep us awake. I mean, it's really, I've tried to analyze this in my own life so many times, and I keep thinking, I think in the post on our website for the show, Deb, we said something about worries of the previous day or the things coming up the next day and all this stuff, and I just try to train myself. There's nothing I can do about that now. And I remember, I think it was Pope St. John the 23rd, at least it's attributed to him, he would lay his head on the pillow at night and said, Lord, as the Pope, I did everything I could today. The church is yours. You take it from here, So I just think we have to train ourselves somehow to leave the things behind or set them aside that we can't deal with when we're in that important period of trying to recharge our body. So, Deb, I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you completely, Jerry. And Teresa, it's very interesting what you're saying. A couple things. I mean, I think you all know by now, if you've been listening to Take Two for a few months, that I do some health coaching, and I wanted to just share a couple things that I do in my own personal regimen, and my husband and I do together, that can help us sleep better, because I'm a constant worrier, I'll be honest with you, and I'm under quite a bit of stress, actually. I've been under quite a bit of stress for about 8 years. Kind of gotten used to it, actually, unfortunately. But I'm under a lot of stress, and so it's hard for me to get to sleep. And I love sleep, Teresa. I absolutely love sleep. When I was a kid, I used to sleep all the time. In fact, my dad used to wake us up and have us mow the lawn and do all that kind of chores, and I would be the one sleeping, because I just love to sleep. But here's the thing. When you can't sleep and you've got all these things on your mind and it's racing, it's really tough. So what I have done in my own life is I've realized that I've read a lot of articles, and I've read that between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 p.m. is the regenerative sleep, where it really heals the body, and it's important sleep. So I really make an effort to try and get to sleep by 10 p.m. and at least sleep till 2 in the morning, and that has really helped. That's number one. Number two is what my husband started doing, and my husband instituted this in our family, is that we listen to Gregorian chant. I don't know if you've ever listened to Gregorian chant, Teresa. Teresa, are you still with us, or did you hang up and listen?
I'm still here. I'm listening. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, I have heard some. Yes, I have heard some.
Okay, Gregorian chant. We have it in our master bedroom, and it goes on, and we listen to it for starting at about 9:30 at night and until 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is lights out. We go to sleep. Okay, so here's the thing. It's amazing. Here's the other thing that I do too that I learned, and I can't remember where I learned it from, Teresa, but oh boy, does it work. I sleep with the rosary now in my hand.
Oh, I do too. I
Okay.
will fall asleep praying the rosary many times, and I don't think that's a problem. I think that it's a good way to fall asleep.
Yes.
I do the same thing. I will start to pray it, even if I've already prayed it once during the day, or I'll just have it in my hand at night. And then, of course, that first wake-up call to hit the bathroom, it's like, okay, where's my rosary? I'm going to make sure it's still in my, not crumpled up somewhere. No,
right.
But I agree. The rosary is the rosary is our link to life. It really is. It truly takes the life of the family, the Holy Family. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. And make sure it's blessed. Make sure it's blessed. If yours is blessed, make sure it's blessed. And we also have holy water and blessed. We have blessed oils and blessed salt in the house, and it really helps. And so I just wanted to impart those things, and it sounds like you're doing them already, but this is good because we're talking about it, so others may jump on and say, hey, I can incorporate that too. But Teresa, God bless you. Awesome take, a great way to start off the show, and we really appreciate it because hopefully this will help others. And so thank you, Teresa. God bless you. And we're glad you're safe and everybody in your community.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Teresa, for the call. Take two with Jerry and Debbie. Do you sleep with the angels? How do things go for you at night? Sometimes you sleep well, other times not. Maybe you have difficulty all of the time. Maybe you just, what's the old saying? You're asleep before your head hits the pillow, and you sleep till the alarm clock wakes up. Maybe you're very blessed that way. 1-800-585-9396. This touches on so many areas of our lives. So we're going to go next to Racine, Washington, at Risa, listening to EWTN Radio on 88.5 FM. Hello, Edrisa. Welcome.
Yeah.
We have Edrisa. There we go.
Huh?
Go right ahead.
It's Racine, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got a little bad information there.
Yeah, I had important information, like just talking about sleep as far as the stages of sleep and stuff. Because sometimes people go to sleep for a little bit and they think they got enough rest, but REM sleep occurs in cycles of about 90 to 120 minutes throughout the night, it says, and it accounts for up to 20 to 25% of total sleep time in adult and humans. And that sleep is really important, but it was just funny that you guys were talking about this subject because I just turned to the station and I was talking about this all week, and I really just tell people I get more evil when I have lack of sleep. Like, that's why I tell my son's father I have to get some sleep or else I'm just going to be crazy. But, yeah, I just agree with everything you guys were saying already, so...
Well,
I just called in to say it is important, and without me knowing more information about things, I had already said it makes you more vulnerable,
exactly.
to temptation. It is more. You can't even think right.
Exactly. Edrisa, I just wanted to comment real quickly because you're talking about REM sleep and it does come in cycles. I actually did a paper in college on sleep, so I know a little bit about it. REM is the rapid eye movement, and it has to do with different levels, different cycles of what you're talking about sleep. And what I wanted to share with you is that I actually had read, and you can probably confirm this on the internet, Edrisa, that between 10 and 2 is when we hit the really deep, deep sleep, and then we have a little bit more superficial surface sleeping, and that happens. That's why a lot of people wake up at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and so it's a great time to pray in that time frame. But here's the thing: so you're absolutely correct that we do need that, and I agree with you. We must get sleep. So what we have to do is we have to form routines that allow us to have a good sleep regimen. We have to practice those things. So many times we just go and go and go until we drop, and then the stresses keep us up. So Idrissa, great comments. So glad you tuned in. We are grateful for you. You hear that music. This is the hard break we've got to take, but we want to send you off to your day, and thank you. Get some good rest tonight, Idrissa. We'll be right back on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie talking about sleep today. We all need it to be better Christians.
From EWTN News Nightly in Washington, D.C., I'm Wyatt Goolsby with an EWTN News Link. Presidential candidates Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton shared the stage again last night at the annual Al Smith dinner in New York. In keeping with tradition, the candidates poked fun at each other, but some of Trump's jokes drew boos from the white-tie crowd. Day 2 of the ceasefire in Aleppo provides relief from fighting, but many residents refuse to evacuate along the humanitarian corridors because they're not convinced it's safe. The Vatican hopes to formally reopen talks with the Sunni Muslim Center of Learning after a 5-year lapse. Vatican delegates will travel to Cairo this weekend to begin preparations. Formal talks are expected to begin in April. Visitors to Rome can now get a rare look into the Pope's summer home, Castel Gandolfo. The Vatican is opening the public to rooms where Popes Pius XII and Paul VI died. I'm Wyatt Goolsby with your EWTN News Link. Join us this evening for EWTN News Nightly.
The wisdom of Mother Angelica.
You know something about that new commandment the Lord gave us? You know what it says? That I should love you as much as the Father loves Jesus. But it doesn't say anything about you loving me. How do you like that? He didn't say you got to go around loving somebody. He said, I have to love you as much as the Father loves me. He didn't say, now you're going to get a return of love. In fact, he said, if you do that, if you love those who love you, the pagans do that. If you invite somebody to dinner and hope they invite you back, he said, the pagans do that. You got to invite people to dinner who won't invite you back. They don't have anything to invite you for. See, God doesn't think the way we do. We're so far away from the way God thinks.
For more information on Mother Angelica, visit Religious Catalog at EWTNRC.com.
EWTN. Live truth. Live Catholic.
We're so glad you're with us on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We're talking about sleep today and how we need it and how it's important. We have full phone lines, and we want to hear from you, what you have to say. So we're going right back to the phone. Sherry in East Aurora, New York, listening on the Station of the Cross. Sherry, take it away.
Hi, how are you guys?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I just so happened to put the radio on, so this topic resonates with me.
Oh,
I'm a mother of 3 under 3, and my grandmother, who's 95, lives with us too, and she's seemingly turned nocturnal the last 2 months. So we lose a lot of sleep in this house. But I agree with what you said, because I certainly get more vulnerable. I get more frustrated, especially with a newborn. She's 3 weeks, so I wake up throughout the night. Just wanted to let you guys know, and you hear them in the background, my children. I don't know if I'll be able to stay on for too long, but yeah, it just hit home for me. Last night I was up from 2 p.m. until 5 o'clock this morning, or 2 a.m. until 5 o'clock this morning, and it was long. It was just so long, and I could feel myself getting frustrated, and I had to stop. It was almost, you have to intentionally coach yourself not to go there, because I feel guilty. The newborn, she doesn't know. She doesn't know how hard it can be. obviously. So, and she can be quite demanding because she's still so new. So, yeah, you just have to pray through it. Sometimes at 3 a.m. they have the Chaplet of Divine Mercy. If I'm able to catch it, I can sing along with that, and that'll help get her to sleep. So, yeah, that's our position in our house.
Well, Jerry, what do you think? Okay, I can't hear Jerry. Can you guys? Okay.
Oh, you guys lost him again, maybe.
I know. Okay, that's okay. But I would like to comment. So, Sherry, here's the thing. When I was raising kids, I just felt like I was running on fumes, and it's tough. But praying and keeping those routines and trying to get those moments where you can sleep and kind of rejuvenate and really just go on to the next phase. Here's the great news. I mean, it's great news. The times when you're sleep deprived, they'll be long. You won't even remember those times when your kids are all grown. I don't even remember being sleep deprived. It's like God has a way of just waving his hand over it, and I don't even remember it. It's amazing. And I'm sure other parents can say that as well, that we're like that. But that's why I every time when I was up in the middle of the night, even nursing or anything with the children, I use that time to really grow in my knowledge of God and my faith, and it helped. It really helped. I made it interesting times. So, here's the thing: we've got to work at it because the country is not getting enough sleep in general, and I think that's why a lot of people aren't making good decisions. We're not making good decisions for our future. I really believe that because we need to rest, and Satan knows where he can attack us. He knows it. So yeah. I mean, but I think it's good that you called in. And by the way, your children sound beautiful. We love to hear. We're actually just keeping you on a little longer so we can hear the kids.
Yeah, I imagine. I have a 2-year-old son, a 1-year-old daughter, and then the newborn. This is Ella. She's 3 weeks. And then my grandmother is Julia. But if you can keep my grandmother in your prayers, she just is having such a hard time with sleep. So maybe the prayers from Take Two will give her some extra helping hands.
And your grandmother's name is Julia?
Julia Dower.
Julia.
Yeah,
okay, we'll put her.
She just
got
her
on the list.
A new medication, which I didn't want to have to put her on, but hopefully it'll help reverse some of the things that she's facing.
Okay, we will pray for Julia. I put her in the book. And by the way, Sherry, just to let you know, I'll be at Station of the Cross next weekend with Nick Scott and John Leonetti and Rick Paolini for your share-a-thon, for your fund drive.
Oh, excellent. Great.
Yeah. So you'll be hearing me all week.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Thank you for taking the time to do that.
Oh, bless your heart. Thank you, Sherry. Well, God bless you. You sound like a great mom, and thank you for taking the time. Thank you for calling in.
Absolutely. Take care.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so we're trying to get Jerry back and connected, and that doesn't seem to be going too well, so I'm going to take us to the next call because we have full phone lines. If you want to jump in at 1-800-585-9399. 1-800-585-9396. I almost gave the Share-a-thon number at Annunciation Radio. See, it gets stuck in my head. See what I mean? But here you go. So, dear listeners, it's time. It's time for you to weigh in on this about sleep and what we can do to get better sleep and how important it is. So, Michelle, you're up next in Texas, listening on the EWTN app. And Michelle, it's you and me because I just got news that they cannot connect Jerry any longer. So Jerry's listening but cannot participate. So let's make sure he can walk away learning something from the show. Take it away, Michelle.
Hi, good morning. It's funny that you were talking about stress and everything going on because I just called my nutritionist this morning and I'm like, hey, I need your help. I've been so stressed I have 4 little girls and everybody needs me in a stressful job, and you try to be your best as you're walking with the Lord every day and make sure that my girls are okay and my job is okay, and I don't sleep at night. I have a Fitbit and my average sleep is 3 hours a night. And so whoever said the rosary, thank you, I'm going to try that because I was just like, what do I do,
Mm-hmm. Are you getting that sleep between 10 and 2?
I'm not. Last night it was about 10:45, so I'm going to try that. I'm really going to try that. I'm just always, I worry and my brain doesn't shut off. I run 90 to nothing, and and I sleep 90 to nothing because I cannot sleep. So, and I've talked to so many women who have the same issue, so I'm glad you guys are talking about it so that I can mention, the holy water by the bed or the rosary by the bed or in my hand. I'm gonna definitely try that.
Well, and it must have made you kind of, feel good that Sherry called in right before you and was kind of sharing the same thing. I mean, when you're raising children, you're going to have those daily stressors and the sleep deprivation. I mean, it's just part of the the cycle of raising kids, and so, but we can use those times, like we said, to grow in our faith and to develop our spirituality. We don't have to make it to where we're sitting in the dark in our houses and staring at the four walls and the kids are crying and need attention, and we're going, what do we do now? The rosary, like we said, the Gregorian chant, there's all sorts of things. And here's the great news. If you're sleep deprived, okay, so you're sleep deprived. But if you can be developing your spiritual life at the same time while you're not getting sleep, I mean, it's kind of like you've made the best out of a not so good situation, right? So
that is so true. You know what? I will tell you, the Gregorian chant. I tell my friends and even my daughters when they can't sleep, I put it on Pandora. The only thing about it is that Pandora has those commercials unless you pay for it. But listening to that mellows me out, and my daughters are like, "Mom, I can listen to it and go to sleep." So that it does so much for us to be able to listen to that.
Yeah, well, not only that, Michelle, you know what else I do too? I'll give you all my tricks that I do. We play the Gregorian chant we have a CD, and we play it, and it goes throughout the house. So we have the Gregorian chant that's playing. But what else we do too is whenever my husband and I have some situation that we're encountering that we just both feel very stressed, and it's how you have one of those days where you're just going, okay, I just should have stayed in bed today.
Yeah.
Okay, we put on the Gregorian chant. My husband does. My husband puts on the Gregorian chant, and I'm telling you, as soon as I hear it, my whole body calms down. Everything starts to make sense, and I start to go, okay, Lord, you're in charge. You're still on the throne. You've got it covered. I can make it through. So it's very interesting, and the kids do respond to it, and the same way the kids do respond to the rosary. The kids, the heart rate goes down when the rosary is being said. Everything gets back to center, and it's really quite beautiful. So, Michelle, God bless you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Take Two. We really appreciate that you took the time out of your busy schedule, and we'll all be praying for each other. We're all going to hold each other up in prayer. So count on those prayers, Michelle.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless
Bye-bye.
you. Wow. Okay, Toby, you are up next. I think, Toby, you might wait. Oh, well, you're close to getting our Virtual Patience Award. I hope Jerry's listening. Toby gets our Virtual Patience Award in Massachusetts, listening on the Station of the Cross. Hi, Toby. Welcome.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm blessed. How are you?
I am blessed, but I have a horrible time sleeping. I've heard people say they can't sleep right off the bat and stuff like that. I have the opposite problem. I can fall asleep kind of quickly a lot of times, but I don't stay asleep. I wake up 5, 6, 7, 8 times, no exaggeration, a night. Each time I wake up, it feels like I haven't even gotten any sleep. And I could identify with the lady who said her mind is wandering. My mind is all over the place. On certain occasions, I was able to meditate and pray, and there was some relief. But for some reason, when I go through these spells, it's almost like praying and meditating is the last thing on my mind because I just want to get sleep, and I can't sleep. So I would go, like I said, if I get 3 hours in a row in a night, that is a miracle in itself. And every morning I wake up, I feel horrible. And, during the day, I probably only function at about 50 or 60% power, and the rest of me is tired. And I've tried sleeping pills, 3 different sleeping pills. I've tried Benadryl, Trazodone, and Seroquel, and, it seemed to make it worse. I actually felt guilty because I had to take sleeping pills, or I thought they would work, and they didn't even work. They didn't keep me asleep. I also take medication because I was diagnosed with bipolar and ADHD, and I take medication for that. And that alone is probably why I fall asleep. But if I talked to my psychiatrist about it, and I told her, I says, if somebody was taking the medication I'm taking, wouldn't they be knocked out for like 8 hours? And she was like, most definitely. She says, you have a serious sleep problem. And she asked me if I wanted to, again, be put on another sleeping pill. And I said no, because the sleeping pills don't work. It seems to, for some reason, make it worse, or I feel guilty because I'm taking the sleeping pill.
Sure, sure, and you're taking other medication as well. Toby, first of all, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a doctor, but I do a little health coaching, and just some. I'm sure you know this already. Just some practical advice is that you're really going to have to work hard at getting a routine to put yourself into a deep sleep. So you're going to have to practice that. I mean, sometimes we go, and then we drop in thinking, oh, wow, I'm going to get a good night's sleep because I've just worked myself like crazy and I'm just going to drop. That's not necessarily true, because that your heart could be racing. You could have, your thoughts are wandering. You have stressful thoughts. And guess what? You wake up and you didn't have that deep sleep. So you're going to have to really get into a routine. I have a Dominican aunt who's a Dominican sister. She's a Dominican sister, my aunt, my mother's sister. And she's very big on discipline, and she has a set routine. She eats at a certain time, and she's approaching 90 years old. She eats at a certain time, and she'll have a glass of tea afterwards, after dinner, but no food. And she'll wind her body down for sleep. And she's always slept well, always ate well. She's approaching 90, and she's in excellent health. But she practices it. It's a discipline. So I don't know if any of the things we're saying today can help you, but I would look into the Gregorian chant. The reason why, Toby, is I'm just like you. Sometimes when I have stressful thoughts, I can't meditate because my mind's going all over the place. And meditation is great. Teresa brought it up in Sebastian, Florida. It's excellent. But sometimes my mind just can't settle down. But Gregorian chant, I can be letting my body calm down. And that helps to calm my mind down. So I don't know if any of that helps, Toby, but you're not alone. You're not alone, but it's good that you have your counselor and your doctor that you're consulting, because you want to get that sleep. It's not good on your body, and it does cause a host of health problems, like Teresa said, in Florida. So let us know how you're doing in a few weeks after you kind of maybe get a routine, if you decide to adopt that. Will you do that, Toby?
Very good.
All right. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Rhonda, you're up next. We're going to try to get to everybody, or I'm going to try to get to everybody. I hope Jerry's listening. I hope he's praying for me, because I need a nap. I'm telling you, I'm tired. Okay, Rhonda, you're up next in Colorado, listening to EWTN Radio. Hi, Rhonda.
Hi, Debbie. Hi, Jerry. Hi. I know I can't hear you, but you can hear us. I understand. Thank you so much, Debbie and Jerry, for having this topic today. It's a great topic, and I think it affects a lot of us. I'm a mom, too. I have a daughter in college. I have two here at home that I'm homeschooling, and there's a lot that goes on, and a lot that is on my mind when I go to bed at night. It's hard to go to sleep sometimes. I do wake up frequently sometimes in the night. But I have this book, Debbie. It's called Small Steps for Catholic Moms. It's by Danielle Bean and Elizabeth Foss. You're probably familiar with Danielle, at least her name. Mm-hmm. And they're just small little devotionals. But last night in particular, which is interesting that you would have this topic today, no coincidence, I call it a God incident. St. Edith Stein has this quote, and it says, "And when night comes and you look back over the day and see how fragmentary everything has been, and how much you planned that has gone undone, and all the reasons you have to be embarrassed and ashamed, take everything exactly as it is and put it in God's hands and leave it with Him." And then there's a prayer, and it says, "Jesus, you fell 3 times while carrying the cross. Help me to see my weaknesses as a call to lean on your strength and grow ever closer to you." And then they gave just an action. And it suggested that, and this worked for me last night, before you go to bed, and this is for people that maybe have a hard time shutting down their brain, and I love the Gregorian chant idea. I'm going to try that. I'm going to use that because I think that would be perfect. Mm-hmm. But this says just take a little piece of paper, write down the things that you didn't get done during the day that you had planned on getting done, that are still on your mind, that you were concerned because you didn't get them done. Just write those things down and then give them to God and then crumple up the paper and throw it away and go to bed. And it was powerful last night, you know. I do go to bed praying the rosary. When I wake up, I typically will start praying the Divine Mercy Chaplet.
Right.
And so I do those things, and they're great. But this was something that helped me to actually just hit the pillow and go to sleep. And
that's beautiful.
It was wonderful. So for the moms that are out there with these little kids, if they can get their hands on this small, and even for men too, it doesn't have to be for moms, but small steps for Catholic moms. And it's just very simple. Something doesn't take very long, because I've been there with little kids before. And we can't, sometimes to have a long devotional is something that we don't find the time to do. This is a one-pager each day. You know?
Absolutely. Rhonda, I have limited computer access because I'm at the Share-a-thon in Ohio. So can you say the name of the book and the authors again for our listeners? Because I know we're going to get texts, and I already got one text already asking for the book. So can you go ahead?
Sorry, I was probably talking too fast.
No, you're perfect.
Small Steps for Catholic Moms. Think, pray, act every day. But basically, if you do Small Steps for Catholic Moms by Danielle Bean and Elizabeth Foss.
Perfect. Thank you for imparting that. See, this is how the show works. We're all in this together. And we all need to help and support one another. Thank you, Rhonda.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Debbie and Jerry. Wonderful show.
Oh, thank you. God bless you. Keep praying for us. We'll pray for you. Thanks, Rhonda.
We will do. Thank you. Bye.
Alrighty. Bye-bye. Okay, this is awesome. Every time a phone line opens up, we have another Take Two listener that calls right in. That's wonderful, but I don't know if I'm going to get to you because the show's only a brief hour. Here comes another call. Wow, full phone lines again. Okay, Elsa, we're going to try to go very quickly in New Hampshire, listening on Sirius XM 130. Hi, Elsa. Welcome to Take Two.
Hello. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Okay. I was listening to your show, and I normally don't get to, and I was a little fascinated, and I was praying to St. Michael when you couldn't connect to Toby again for you, and and I was also I thought about the times when I'm a veteran, and we were under such stress during an inspection, for instance. I remember that we couldn't sleep. We were like working and working and under the stresses of being ready for war. And I remember that my friend and I, who were in charge of a section, we were getting ready for this big inspection, and we had been up till like 1 o'clock in the morning. We got to our hotel room. We had 1 hour to sleep. And and we were giggly, right? And you know how you get when you haven't had any sleep and you're tired and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, but it was funny, and we finally settled. I said, I got to take off my uniform, even if it's for 1 hour, and then we had to get up again and go. And the point that I was kind of thinking about is, in as much as we do need sleep, and it's so important, sometimes, I do believe that the Lord gives us the gift of adrenaline in those situations. And especially, I'm a veteran of the Persian Gulf War, and I can tell you that those wake-up calls at 3 o'clock in the morning from bombs falling on top of you, it's like there's nothing like the shot of adrenaline to get you going like that, And but then when you go to sleep, you sleep hard. I mean, it's like, wow. Even that 1 hour was like a refreshing thing for us,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But go ahead.
As I was listening to what the other callers were saying, and back then, I was stationed where, thankfully, praise God, that there was a priest with us, because sometimes it can be a Protestant chaplain, and but we had a Catholic priest, and I was a flight medic during the war, and I remember that every night I would go into confession, and God bless him, he would be there, and I would go in there and go to confession and say, bless me that I won't kill any of my patients, and so there's the opposite side to the full night's sleep, is that lack of sleep, but then also, trusting yourself to God, even if it's just for a little bit, and joining him in the sacrament of reconciliation, and then giving it to him, and then going to sleep for maybe it could be an hour or two, and then getting up, to get ready for a 20-hour mission. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you had to be ready. But thank goodness you had access to a priest, Elsa. I think that is really wonderful to know that our military, there was many groups that did have access to priests, and that was good. So that makes me happy that you did. First of all, I just want to say, Elsa, thank you for your years of service. Thank you. We appreciate it so very, very much, and thank you for that. The one comment you did make about the adrenaline surge or the cortisol or whatever the surge is, that fight or flight that happens to our bodies when we're in those really have to be ready at all times moments. You're from what I understand from the schooling that I went to that it talks about that those times, you're right, when you're in combat, if you will. But then you said you went into hard sleep. Well, that's because your body needed that time to regenerate. It needed that time to heal because you did have all those surges of adrenaline and cortisol running through the body, and the body needs time to repair. So the body is God, our bodies are beautifully made by God, and they have a rhythm, they have a cycles, and everything is meant to be. So that's why when we do have to take care, whatever circumstance we're in, whether we're in service in the military and in combat service, whether we're raising kids, or whether we're in a stressful job in corporate America, or we're just wondering how we're going to get by on the next day because we're not sure if we have a job the next day, and those stresses keep haunting us or whatever. We have to be ready to care for our bodies too. We have to take that time. And that's the thing that I think I know that I wanted to impart today, Elsa, and I hope we did that with this conversation we're having. But you added tremendously to it because you raised that fight or flight mechanism that is so naturally in us as human beings, and I'm glad you did. That helps us. But I'm happy that you had a priest that was there with you, and I'm happy you're safe, and I'm happy you're calling in. So God bless you for that, Elsa. Thank you. Okay, so we are getting ready to close out the show. So I think we can take one more call at about just about 30 seconds, and I just want to say it right up front. I am so sorry to Nina in New Jersey. I'm so sorry to Michelle, who's a nurse, who's going to talk about sleep apnea. That's what it says in the comment screen. And I know that a lot about sleep apnea because my former husband had it very badly, and he was on a CPAP machine. So Michelle and Nina and the others, could you please post on EWTN Catholic Radio Facebook page or take2show.com. We'd love to hear from you, or email us at take2, the number 2 at EWTN.com, because we would like your comments to be heard. Rose, I've got about 30 seconds now in Augusta, Georgia on St. Paul Radio. Hi, Rose. Welcome to Take Two. Hi, Rose. Okay, we're switching. Are we not switching? Okay, we're switching to Michelle real quickly. Okay, Michelle, real quickly. Sorry, Rose. I'm so sorry. Michelle in Long Island, New York on Sirius XM. You got about 20 seconds. Hi, Michelle.
Oh, man. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
The sleep apnea. I wanted to validate everything you spoke about stress and cortisol. And what happens is we develop adrenal insufficiency after time because of the excess of cortisol. That's right. Number one. So you were 100% correct on that. Number two, because our bodies, God designed our bodies to be rest to recover. Number two, sleep apnea. That gentleman, if he has a neck size of 18 inches or larger.
Oops, Michelle, you're going to have to go on Facebook. We're closing the show. I'm so sorry. Go on Facebook, post it. Dear listeners, you are awesome. Have a beautiful and blessed weekend. We'll see you real soon.